You're thinking about remodeling your floors with carpet and wood floors and maybe even new countertops, kitchens, bathrooms. It all adds value. I'm going to tell you what the general range of cost is for the middle end of 2024. Welcome into the Real Estate Minute Show. I am Jay Lieberman, your host with Lieberman Realty Group. And the three main categories we're going to talk about today are real and actual physical costs for, let's start with countertops. Okay, we're going to talk about, as I said, countertops, flooring and carpet, wood flooring and carpet. So countertops, you can go a lot of different ways, right? Granite, marble, a lot of engineered stuff. And they also have quartz, which is one of the hardest materials out of the granite that they manufacture. It's man-made, that they manufacture into slabs, okay? And those slabs can get cut up into different things and different sizes and templates. It's a little more forgiving than, as far as design and style, than granite and marble, because those are both natural products. So the veins and colors, they can't change, obviously. The earth and God made those. But with quartz, you can actually design it. Now, the more you design, the more expensive it gets. But if you just go to a granite, marble, quartz shop, and you look at their yard, you always see those kind of lined up. They're all stacked up, these huge slabs. Take a tour, go through and take a look at these things because they have really cool designs, all right? So the average right now for quartz, and this is kind of a mid-range depending on where you're at. If you're in California or on the coast, essentially, it's more money than it is in the interior for some reason. Usually it's cost of freight, delivery regulations and things. But a general range right now on the lower end for quartz is about $60, $65 a square foot installed for countertop, all the way up to forever. But the average rate is, I saw some that's like $1,000 a foot. It's really integral, like gold leaf design. Stay within the 60 to 90, 60 to 100 range in there. The average is about $65 to $75 a foot, and that is installed, okay? Well, you also need to account for the cutouts for sinks. So when you have a sink, each sink cutout is about $100 to $150 on top of the cost to install. And also generally, they give you kind of a rounded bullnose edge on it. That's the edge that you see. They have a lot of different edge designs, okay? The more complicated, the more money it is. But usually if you stay with the round or kind of the flat, more modern design, it's usually included. All right, let's go on to flooring. Okay, let's start with the wood flooring. There's a few different categories here too. There's a lot of vinyl products, ceramic tile products. There's something called engineered wood. There's another product called LVP, which is luxury vinyl plank. And there's also real friggin' wood, which is the thick baby. And then they also have cheap linoleum and laminate and stuff like that, which I'd kind of stay away from. A lot of this stuff really looks good now, and it depends on the wear and tear. So they actually have they have ceramic tiling that looks exactly like wood. It's like a picture of wood on it. You wouldn't be able to tell a difference from a distance. When you walk on it, it's cold. It's tile, okay? So high traffic areas, a lot of commercial applications. So for your home, I'd probably stay away from that. I'd also probably stay away from real wood. It's really expensive. It's really unforgiving to high heels, to dropping pans, things like that. A lot of dents. It's natural. The more natural, the more beautiful. The more natural, the harder it is to care for. It's just the way the world works. Again, God is making these products. Now let's move on to some of the more synthetic stuff, which really looks amazing, okay? And one of those is called luxury vinyl plank, or LVP. And that is, it's a vinyl product, so it's super thin, and it kind of, it's malleable, but they lay it down, it kind of floats on the floor, or they glue it, one of the two. And that product is actually really inexpensive, and it looks phenomenal. But again, you can kind of tell a little bit that it's not real wood, and because it's not, okay, so we know that, but it's got a little bit of a plastic feel. It's made out of PVC, which is the same stuff that's made out of that white plumbing pipe. Not that that's a bad thing. It's a really great product, and it's very, very inexpensive. LVP is running right now about $3 a square foot plus another $2 to install. So about $5 a square foot for that LVP vinyl product. Now, the next one is engineered wood, which I like a lot. It actually is a slight little tiny layer film of real wood on top, and then the rest of it is just kind of like stacked wood. I have a sample of it right here because I'm actually buying some right now. This is what I have in my home. This is what I'm installing in another home, and you can see that is about how thick it is. And just on the edge there is this top little piece that is actual wood, and it actually is finished here, so it wears really, really well. Not as well as the vinyl product, which is like for high traffic, lasts forever. This is the second level down, and it runs a little bit more money though. Instead of $3 a square foot, it's closer to $5 a square foot, with the same $2 square foot install. So instead of 5, you're going up to 7 a foot for this. But for me, it's worth it. It's got a little bit more of a rich feel, and it's a little cooler on your feet like real wood is. Last thing we'll get into today is carpeting. Now, carpet is just a spectrum of stuff, down to the apartment grade garbage when you step on it the first time and it just smacks down, all the way up to super high price shag is really back in again. So that's cool. Not my jam, but cool anyway. You got a lot of styles, a lot of things you can go on forever with carpet. But the general range I'd recommend for a home, especially if you're going to live in it and you're thinking about reselling and such and what buyers are looking for. One is kind of a loop carpet, which you could see a little loop design on the carpet. If you have pets or friends have pets, I'd stay away from that because they snag and they pull right up. And they're a little bit more expensive. The next one are kind of like a loop cut pile mix. And cut pile is just the regular stacked carpet that you walk on. That's just like carpet fiber sticking up. And then when you mix a loop in, it's got a little bit of indent loop design mixed in with that. Very cool stuff. Highly recommend that. It's super popular, a little expensive, but popular and gorgeous. The next step down is a lot of the cut pile stuff, which is like I'm talking, it's just nylon strands that are sticking up. They got a huge range of this stuff in different qualities, spill proof, all kinds of stuff. Great product, very middle pricing. You can get a lot of stuff, very low end pricing on that, but nice and thick and high quality. And then the apartment stuff that I talked about. It's a general range. I would stick in the kind of high quality cut pile and the cut pile loop mix, okay? And generally, those are gonna range from $20, $22 a yard. I'll tell you the difference. It's not square foot yet. They do carpet differently. $22 a yard up to $35 a yard. So call it $20 to $35 a yard is where you should stay, because anything more than that is you're not going to get your money out of it ever. Anything less than that is going to wear down in about a year or two, and you're going to be doing your carpet all over again. Now, as I mentioned, they do carpet in yardage versus square footage. All you got to do to convert the yardage is divide it by 9, okay? Because $22 or $25 a yard is 9 square feet. So divide it by 9 and I'll give you the square footage. Generally, the cost to install carpet is about 75 to 85 cents a square foot, depending on the condition, okay? So let's say for math, you get into a $27 a yard carpet, divide it by 9, that's $4 a square foot for the carpet, plus another about 80 cents to install it. So now you're at about $4.80 a square foot. Plus you got to put pad underneath unless you want it to be hard underneath. And I always recommend an 8-pound pad. It's right in the middle of being super squishy and feeling like you're walking on concrete, okay? It's a great pad. It's very thin, but it's super nice and just enough so it doesn't feel weird and kind of like, just like a workout room, you know, where you're just like jumping up and down. So that's what I would recommend. And the padding itself ranges from 50 to 75 cents a square foot as well. So you can probably be into the whole thing, probably at about $6 a square foot for really great carpet. Those are where you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. So I wanted to spend a time on what those are costing in September of 2024. They always go up and down. So keep this handy as a guide. We're going to be off for the next couple weeks. Got some traveling to do, but we will see you back right here on the Real Estate Minute Show.